Hey, how's it going, Razmanites? It is the Razman and RotisserieiJamie here with your WWE Vengeance pay-per-view review today on the Razman's Reality Preview.
Shockwave 7.
Preview. Okay, so sorry this is so late, but we wanted to do the review together like we've been doing with the predictions on my radio show. Rather, we've been doing all our predictions and all our reviews together, so we wanted to keep doing that, and we both just been busy today, so this is the earliest that we could record the video. We're recording the video at 4:30 in the afternoon where we are, so hopefully it won't go up too late. Alright, so first match, Jamie, is WWE Tag Team titles, Kofi and Evan Airboom defending against Ziggler and Swagger. This was a good match. This was a really good opener, and I really like the chemistry that these two teams have, and Airboom retained.
Yeah, it actually wasn't a bad match at all. I love Kofi and Evan Bourne as a tag team. Like, they have great chemistry. I freaking love their tag team. And yes, they retain, which is awesome. I'm glad they're letting them have such a long title reign, which is fantastic. Because usually with something like that, they'd give them like a stupid title reign or just screw something up. But the match wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, and then, right, I completely agree. There's not much more I can add to it. So then, right after the match, Dolph Ziggler defends his United States title against Zack Ryder, and he puts on another phenomenal singles match with Zack Ryder. The only sucky thing about it was that we all knew what was going to happen because Air Boom decided to stay at ringside to be in Zack Ryder's corner, and the referee tosses out Air Boom away from ringside, and Jack Swagger doesn't get tossed out away from ringside on Ziggler's corner, so you knew that Swagger was going to get involved. He did. He caused Zack Ryder to get a distraction, which allowed Dolph Ziggler to retain the title.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad match, so I wish Ryder would have won the U.S. title. But Ziggler holding on to the title isn't bad either, so either way, it's fine. I mean, I rather prefer Ryder to win, but, you know.
Yeah, it was an amazing match, so hopefully this feud will continue. I mean, I admit that when this whole Zack Ryder boom, no pun intended, started, I was one of the naysayers. I didn't get it. But he's really starting to grow on me simply because WWE is putting him on TV, and he's a great wrestler, and we all know that Dolph Ziggler's a great wrestler, so I just hope the feud continues one
Me
way or
too.
another.
Me too.
Alrighty, then we have Eve versus Beth Phoenix for the Divas title. Beth retained. It was a Divas match. There's not really a lot you can say except for they showed a backstage segment of Kelly getting jumped by Natalya. So to me, they're just having Beth and Natalya And I know you think that's funny. You're laughing. But anyway, to me, they're just having Natalia and the Divas champion Beth Phoenix look dominating because what they're gonna do is have Beth feud with Karma when Karma returns. I think that's
That
where
would be a
this is
good
going.
feud. That would be a very good feud right there.
Yeah, it would
Wait,
be.
yeah.
But for a Divas match, what can you say? At least the right Diva retained. That's all you can say.
Yeah, I don't care about Eve Torres, but Beth Phoenix is my girl. And Natalia, no homo. Love them.
Yeah, I really like them too. They're definitely talented divas. Next up was Sheamus versus Christian. This was a match we didn't talk about on my radio show in our predictions because I don't think it was advertised for the card, but it was another great match between these two. I really like the chemistry between these two, and this is another feud just like the Air Boom Ziggler Swagger feud. I don't mind seeing continue because they really put on good matches with each other, Christian and Sheamus do. And Sheamus won again in this one.
Yeah, it was a good match. They put on Christian puts on a great wrestling match as always, and Sheamus is doing good too. So I absolutely adore Christian, but Sheamus won, which I mean I wasn't surprised by that though.
Yeah, no, I wasn't surprised either, but it was a phenomenal match. Well, maybe phenomenal is a bit of a stretch, but it was a really good match considering who was in the ring and what it entailed. Then right after that, there was a funny backstage promo with The Miz and R-Truth sucking up to John Laurinaitis. Can't really review that, but I just wanted to mention it because it was hilarious. John Laurinaitis told The Miz and R-Truth that they stuck up well. I thought that was funny. And then, of course, it led into their match, The Miz and R-Truth versus CM Punk and Triple H. Now, when this match happened, we started to wonder why in the world this match got put before the world title match. But considering what's going to happen in the world title match, which we'll talk about in a minute, it makes sense now. But
Yeah.
this was an absolutely amazing match between these two. You're looking at four of the greatest wrestlers in the game, in my opinion, no pun intended. You have the greatest wrestler in the world in CM Punk working with one of the greatest wrestlers in the world in Triple H. And The Miz and R-Truth just get better and better and better as a tag team. And Miz is a phenomenal singles wrestler to boot. So this match was everything you expected it to be. And then Kevin Nash returns and comes out of nowhere, which we haven't
You
seen.
didn't really expect that though.
Yeah, you didn't expect that because he was gone for a full solid 2 months. We thought he was done with this storyline. So I really like the way that they brought him back because we weren't really expecting it. We expected
At least it
some
didn't
kind of
make it
shenanigans,
obvious
but
though.
it was Kevin Nash who we didn't.
At least it wasn't obvious, like sometimes they do that. But about the match, I was wondering too why they would do it so early because we were all hoping, well, at least I was hoping for a Taker return. I'm just like thinking if he does come back, why would they have him return so early? It would if a return would happen, it would be later on. But Kevin Nash I mean that was cool too, but I rather have Taker come back. But
Yeah,
it was
well,
a good match, though. It was a good match.
we'll talk about Taker at the end because there were some things they did last night that irritate me with him not coming back, and I know they really irritate you, so we definitely have to talk about that. But
Oh,
the match itself was really good. I mean, it was everything we expected the match to be, so I expected the feud to continue in one way or another at Survivor Series. Do you agree?
yes, which I better be going to.
Yes, I agree. All right. Next up, we've got the World Heavyweight Championship match. Mark Henry versus The Big Show. Now, again, originally you
Can
would.
I say something first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't think this match was gonna be good or exciting at all. Like two big guys in the ring. I don't like either of them, but they didn't put on a bad match at all. Like it wasn't horribly bad at all. Like of course, the ending to it when the ring broke was just everyone was like, "Oh my god, they were like shocked and like they thought that was I thought that was funny and I thought that was pretty cool too. But WWE was acting like it never happened before, you know. It happened with Brock Lesnar and uh Big Show, so but it was
Yeah,
still cool though. It happened back in 2002, so you know.
yeah. But what was so great about it is it justified what at the time we thought was bad booking, them having that moment, and we were watching the pay per view together. And did I or did you're my witness because you were
He
saying
called it. He's like,
I
"Watch the
called.
wind's gonna break. Watch the ring is gonna break." And I'm just like, I didn't say anything, and then the ring broke, and like he knows my reaction. I was like marking out right there. Obviously, it's happened before, but it's still cool to see that. You know, you don't really see stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, yeah, it was very cool. We haven't seen it in a very long time, but the minute that Big Show went up after Mark Henry to the top, or excuse me, Mark Henry went up after the Big Show, who was on the top turnbuckle, I was like, there's no way it's gonna hold both these guys. They're gonna do a superplex and the ring's gonna break. And sure enough, bam.
The ring looks so awkward and
It did. It
funny.
looked absolutely weird and terrible. But you
And
know
then they're
what?
just laid out on the floor. I
Yeah, it
mean,
was.
this sort of thing doesn't happen all the time, so it's cool when it does happen. You know, obviously they can't have the ring breaking every Monday Night Raw or every pay per view, but it was still funny though when they fell and the whole ring broke. But go
Yeah,
ahead, Ross.
it was hilarious. But I was just saying that because of it, the match was actually a no contest. So Mark Henry is still world champion, which is fine because we all expected Mark Henry to retain anyway. And this is the one instance where there's a no contest and people aren't gonna whine and cry about it because it was
Yeah,
such a cool ending, you know.
yeah.
And it was.
I didn't mind the ending at all of that either. I mean, I don't want any of them to be champion, but isn't it amazing how like Randy Orton is not in the title picture right there?
Yeah, and speaking of Randy Orton, we got so excited to talk about the ring breaking in the World Heavyweight Championship match that we accidentally skipped over Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. So
My
let's.
man, my other man, I forgot to talk about how Randy Orton.
Yeah, I know. We're sorry if Skype was cutting in and out there. Jamie's on her iPod, so Skype has issues. But what are you saying about Randy Orton?
My gosh, how could I forget about Randy Orton? My husband, like my other husband, of course. He's my number one husband, but like Randy, but go ahead, Raz.
If you say so. But yeah, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes was a great match. I mean, it really was. The only thing I didn't like about it is the fact that Randy won. At this point, Randy should be putting over Cody and helping Cody, which I thought was the whole point of this feud. And then Orton beats Rhodes on pay-per-view. So
Honestly,
I didn't like it at all.
yeah, I'd rather have like Cody win because Orton doesn't need to win. Like, what does he gain if he wins? But I like again, I wouldn't be surprised if Randy Orton wins because he is Randy Orton. But like, he doesn't need the Intercontinental title. He doesn't need to beat Cody. Like, he doesn't need to gain anything. He's already Randy Orton. Anything he does, it's gonna draw anyway. So Cody Rhodes is the one that really kind of needs to prove him. You know what I mean? Like, prove himself and you know he's not a Randy Orton, so he can't just walk out there and get whatever he wants. You know, so. I'm not surprised that Orton won though, but I'd rather have Cody win. You know.
Normally I wouldn't be, but at this at this point for this feud I was. So I hope they at least justify it by having another match between these two and Cody Rhodes wins the match. That's all I can say. Okay, so the main event, last man standing for the WWE title, Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena for what this was, which we thought was going to be like an oh my god, John Cena's going to win the title for a 13th time type of setup because it's so similar to an I Quit match. When Cena picked the last man standing match, like we all got disgusted. We all thought that it was gonna be Cena putting himself over again. But you know what? A, they went out there and put on a phenomenal matchup, and B, Del Rio retained, which I don't like Del Rio. I'm not a fan of him, but I'd much rather see Del Rio have the title than Cena. So
Me too.
I really have no complaints about this match.
That was a really good match. Like everyone was so into the match, and it was just great. Like
We were sitting there. I don't think that was the only match all night long where we didn't hardly talk during the pay-per-view. We were just
I know,
watching the
and
match.
sometimes they're like, oh my god, like Cena went through that V, and they were
Oh
fighting
yeah,
John
that was amazing
That was kind of
when he
funny.
did that. It was funny and amazing at the same time. Oh, and then
You
no,
just I
when
heard this loud bang, and then there's a hole in it.
and I
Cena's
don't
just
know.
laying there.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know
remember
what.
backstage when Del Rio was knocking over those things on
Yeah,
him?
that's what I was just about to say. I don't know what they're called, but like the lighting things backstage. And sorry if you just heard a loud bang. I actually sneezed while I'm recording. Sorry about that. So I hit my shelf that I have underneath my computer. but yeah, I don't know exactly what they're called, but those things that they have backstage for interviews, Del Rio knocked him over on top of Cena, and they're made of metal, so that looked like it hurt like hell. And I've never seen anybody do that
Ouch.
before. Have you? I've never seen
Yeah.
anybody.
And it was funny, they were fighting in a broken ring. Like Cena was all worked up and ready to run in, and then he just kind of slows down. He's like, oh, and kind of
Yeah,
climbs into the
and
ring.
Cena debut New Year that actually for once doesn't look like kitty poop.
Oh my god, I was actually just about to say that. You know, honestly, like I'm not even a Cena fan, and you guys know I bash him a lot. Of course, I have a respect for him, but it's kind of a reflex to bash him just because.
Right,
But
right.
like his shirts are normally really bad or blinding, or you just like need sunglasses to watch Raw. But this time, it's like not a like a crappy cartoon with the C Nation and all this BS. And it says Rise Above Hate, and I like the design and the colors. It's not bad at all. Like back when he had the black shirts anyway, this design was kind of stupid. I know the HLR is kind of his thing, but like you wouldn't be embarrassed to go out and uh have the Rise Above the Hate thing, because if you were wearing a John Cena shirt in public, you would like get made fun of. I wouldn't never wear a John Cena shirt in public, but if I were to wear one, I would wear the Rise Above Hate, because people would think that you're against hate, so they wouldn't
Exa-
think wrestling.
Exactly. I mean, it really does look like universal gear, and like I said, and I said it to be funny, and I'm sure I'm gonna get laughs for saying it. For once, it doesn't look like Fruity Pebble kitty poop. I really actually like
Pretty
the way
stupid.
this looks on
And you
him.
know what? I like his outfit in general. Like he has nice shorts and a nice shirt, and it's not bad at all. It doesn't make you want to like scream every time you see him.
Yeah,
You know what I
if he
mean?
keeps wearing the army camouflage shorts instead of the jean shorts with
He
it, I
looks
mean,
so cute and
it's a
all that.
really good outfit. Well,
Like
I
I'm not
mean,
even a fan of Cena, but he actually looks really cute in black. People are probably gonna be like, "What the hell is wrong with Jamie?" But about Twitter, also is kind of random. But 5 out of the 10 things were mostly trending on Twitter, and Rise Above Hate was trending because of John Cena's new shirt. And what else was trending? A bunch of other stuff was trending. Matt Striker was
Mark
trending.
Henry and Big Show
Mark
breaking the
Henry
ring.
versus Big Show. Sheamus versus Christian. Other stuff was trending too. Like we were dominating Twitter.
Yeah, WWE was dominating Twitter during Vengeance last night, so that's great, great.
Oh, and Taker. Don't forget Taker.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
Taker wasn't trending, but
yeah, we have to talk about that as we're ending the video. So obviously, you kick off anything that talks about Taker. Go ahead.
all right. So Miz mentioned Taker. You know, they gave little hints, and then they showed that uh statue thing of Taker. Like I started flipping out. Like I thought it was him standing there, because you know how he is. Like when he can stand very still, like he looks like a statue. When he's in the elimination chamber, like he looks like he's not even alive because he can stand so still. So I thought that was him for a second, and then I started flipping out. And then I realized it was a statue or whatever, a wax statue. But I still started flipping out, and then I kept thinking, when are they gonna bring him back? Like they already he didn't come back in the Triple H match, and he didn't come back and Mark Henry because I thought maybe what if he would come back and challenge Henry for the title one last time. And then what if he would have just like wanted to feud with John Cena, but he didn't come back at all, which is kind of, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't, but I was kind of disappointed that he did because they're really missing him. I really want him to come back. So hopefully he comes back at the next pay-per-view.
Or tonight, because
Or
that's
he better. I will film my reaction.
yeah, because that's the only thing that I was thinking about after he didn't come back was they dropped all the hints and it was completely pointless because he didn't come back. Maybe they were just dropping the hints because they knew that everybody thought he was going to come back at Vengeance and they're actually going to have him come back on a Raw as a surprise thing.
I remember reading this a long time ago that it said if Taker is gonna come back, he's gonna come back on a Raw, not like at a pay per view or whatever. But either way, if he comes back tonight, I don't care. I'd be really happy. Like I
Yeah,
would flip
it
out.
would definitely make what should be an already interesting Raw because every time they come out of a pay-per-view now, it makes
I
for
can't wait to see
a
Raw.
really good Raw because have been doing such a good job with the pay-per-views. So it should make an already interesting Raw tonight even more interesting if Taker shows up. And if Taker shows up, Jamie said, she'll film a reaction, but we really will even need her to film it because we could hear her reaction like in our sleep.
All over my fan page, all over my Twitter, YouTube. I'll be like tweeting like a maniac, and on my actual Facebook, my status will be about it, and on the fan page, I'll just be having a heart attack. You'll have to come visit me in the hospital.
Yeah, yep. Well, I'll have to come find out where Jamie is and come visit her in the hospital. But I think that's it for Vengeance. So another good show from WWE. Not great, not like uber fantastic, but a really good show with some really cool moments.
Yeah, it was a good show. I mean, it wasn't horribly bad and it wasn't so amazing, but there were some great moments and spots, so yeah. It was pretty good though.
So do you want to sign off first, ladies first?
Goodbye all. I enjoyed the pay-per-view. I love Taker, so follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, and yeah.
And the same for me. Like me on Facebook as well. I would say follow me on Twitter, but basically my Twitter is just linked to my Facebook, so it's the same thing. But links will be down below in the description box. I'll see you next month, Jamie, for another roundtable
I
prediction on the radio show and another review for Survivor Series. So this is reality according to the Razman and Razman style. It's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.